Welcome back to Wheel Reverend. When a name like Ducati puts the words Supersport and V4 together, expectations run high. For decades Ducati has built motorcycles that sit on the razor's edge of engineering brilliance and raw emotional appeal. Now, with the Supersport V4, Ducati is offering a machine that bridges the gap between everyday usability and the full-throttle, heart-pounding experience of their flagship superbikes. This bike is designed not just for the racetrack or the Sunday Canyon blast but also for the rider who wants a versatile, everyday companion that doesn't compromise on Ducati DNA. So let's dive deep into what this machine brings to the table, why it's unique in Ducati's lineup, and what makes it such a compelling offering for 2026. The Supersport V4 is not just a natural evolution of the Supersport 950 that came before it. It's an entirely new statement. Ducati recognized that riders wanted something in between the approachable nature of the Supersport 950 and the ferocious intensity of the Panigale V4. What they created is a motorcycle that harnesses the soul of the Panigale but tempers it with ergonomics and features that make it livable day to day. The result is a bike that can carve through mountain passes with precision, commute with relative comfort, and still light up a racetrack without missing a beat. At the heart of the Supersport V4 is, of course, the motor. Ducati has pulled from its stable of engineering excellence and fitted this bike with a version of the 1103cc Desmosedici Stradale engine, tuned not for maximum horsepower like the Panigale, but for a balance of tractability and performance. That means you still get a thunderous V4 soundtrack, a wide and usable torque curve, and horsepower figures that hover around the 170 mark, but you don't get the overwhelming aggression that makes the Panigale bike only the bravest can tame. The Supersport V4 offers a more manageable experience that still thrills, whether you're riding at 50% on a back road or pushing closer to the limit at a track day. Ducati has paid special attention to the character of the motor here. Where the Panigale V4 begs you to keep the revs sky high, the Supersport V4 delivers satisfying grunt in the mid-range, which is where most street riders spend their time. That makes the bike not only more practical but also more rewarding in everyday scenarios. Twist the throttle out of a tight corner and you're greeted with immediate surge without having to wind it out to the red line. That's what makes this bike so versatile. It's not just about top-end fireworks, but also about usable performance that keeps a smile on your face in every riding condition. Then there's the chassis. Ducati has long been a master at building frames that strike the right balance between rigidity and feel, and with the Supersport V4 they've managed to create something that's both confidence-inspiring and playful. The aluminum frame is derived from Ducati's racing machines, but it's been tuned for real-world feedback rather than uncompromising lap times. Combine that with fully adjustable suspension from A-Lins on the higher-spec models, or a premium Showa and Sachs components on the base model, and you get a bike that feels planted in the corners but not punishing over bumps. This suspension setup makes the Supersport V4 just as happy slicing through a twisty canyon as it is cruising along the highway. Handling has always been a Ducati hallmark, and here the geometry is designed to offer sharp steering without feeling twitchy. Riders who found the Panigale's aggressive stance intimidating will appreciate the Supersport's more relaxed ergonomics. The clip-ons are set higher, the seat offers more padding, and the foot pegs are positioned for a blend of sportiness and comfort. You can still tuck in and feel like a racer when the mood strikes, but you won't feel like your wrists are being punished after a couple of hours in the saddle. That duality is what defines the Supersport V4: intensity when you want it, comfort when you need it. No modern Ducati would be complete without a suite of cutting-edge electronics, and the Supersport V4 is loaded. You've got a 6-axis system working in concert with Ducati's traction control, wheelie control, cornering ABS, and slide control. Ride modes let you tailor the bike's personality, from a docile urban mode that softens throttle response to a track mode that sharpens everything and lets the rider push harder. The bike also features Ducati quick shift up and down, making gear changes lightning fast and buttery smooth. The electronics package doesn't just add safety, it enhances performance by letting riders explore the bike's limits with confidence. The TFT display is crisp and intuitive, offering everything from lap timers to navigation integration, and Ducati has clearly thought about the user interface to keep it rider-friendly. On the higher trims, you also get features like electronic suspension adjustment and Ducati's multimedia system, which allows you to connect your smartphone for calls, music, and more. This makes the Supersport V4 a thoroughly modern motorcycle, blending analog thrills with digital convenience. But Ducati has always been about more than just performance and feature as their bikes are rolling works of art. The Supersport V4 is no exception. Its design is unmistakably Ducati, with flowing lines that nod to the Panigale but with their own identity. The fairing is sculpted for aerodynamic efficiency but also elegance, with sleek LED lighting that gives the bike a futuristic yet timeless face. The single-sided swing arm remains a Ducati trademark, showing off the rear wheel like a piece of jewelry. Every angle of the bike is photogenic, and it's the kind of machine you'll find yourself admiring even when it's parked in the garage. Ducati understands that motorcycles are emotional purchases, and the Supersport V4 delivers visual drama in spades. Practicality hasn't been overlooked either. The windscreen is adjustable, offering genuine wind protection for longer rides, and Ducati has engineered optional panniers that integrate seamlessly with the bike's lines for touring use. This expands the versatility of the Supersport V4 beyond the role of weekend warrior. You could realistically take this bike on multi-day trips without sacrificing style or performance. That's something you can't really say about the Panigale. Now let's talk about the price. Ducati has positioned the Supersport V4 in a sweet spot, starting around $17,000 to $18,000 for the base model, with higher trims pushing closer to $20,000 or just above. That's not cheap, but considering you're getting a detuned version of a MotoGP-inspired V4 engine, premium components, and Ducati's unmistakable styling, it represents strong value within the Ducati lineup. It's significantly less expensive than a Panigale V4 but offers far more performance and character than the smaller Supersport 950. For many riders, it strikes the perfect balance. The unique selling point of the Supersport V4 is its versatility without compromise. Too often, bikes that attempt to blend performance and comfort end up feeling watered down, but Ducati has avoided that trap. The Supersport V4 is still a Ducati at heart, a raw, emotional, and thrilling, but it's accessible in ways the Panigale isn't. It's the kind of bike you can take to work on Friday, ride on a long road trip over the weekend, and then take to a track day on Sunday, all without feeling like you're forcing the bike into a role it wasn't built for. That flexibility is rare in the motorcycle world, and it's what makes the Supersport V4 stand out. For riders who have always dreamed of owning a Ducati Superbike but were intimidated by the commitment of a Panigale, the Supersport V4 could be the answer. It offers the experience of a V4 engine, the beauty of Ducati design, and the thrill of sport performance, but in a package that doesn't demand the rider be a professional racer. It's aspirational yet approachable, exotic yet practical. That combination might just make it the most compelling Ducati in the showroom. At the end of the day, the 2026 Ducati Supersport V4 is more than just a motorcycle. It's a statement from Ducati that performance doesn't have to come at the cost of comfort, and style doesn't have to come at the cost of usability. It's a bike for the rider who refuses to compromise, for the rider who wants to experience the thrill of Ducati engineering every single day, not just in fleeting moments. And when you hear that V4 exhaust note echoing through a canyon or bouncing off the walls of a city street, you'll know instantly why Ducati remains one of the most iconic names in motorcycling.